Every single day, millions of people drive their cars through a tunnel of soap and spinning brushes, hand over $10, and think nothing of it. 3 minutes later, they're gone. But here's what they don't know. That boring little building they just drove through might be making more money than their doctor. In fact, some car washes in America generate over $2 million a year, run by owners who show up twice a week wearing flip-flops. Wall Street has noticed too. Private equity firms, the same people who buy hospitals and tech companies, are now buying car washes. Billions of dollars are flowing into an industry built on soap and water. So the obvious question is, how much money does a car wash actually make? The answer is more surprising and more complicated than you'd think. Let's start with what a car wash actually is, because not all of them are created equal. There are three main types. The first is the self-service wash, those coin-operated bays where you spray your own car and somehow always end up wetter than the vehicle. The second is the in-bay automatic, the machine you sit inside while giant brushes attack your car at a gas station. And the third is the king of the industry, the express tunnel wash. That's the long conveyor belt system that pulls your car through 100 feet of foam, wax, and dryers. If you've ever wondered which one prints the most money, it's the tunnel. And the reason why comes down to one beautiful idea: speed. A modern express tunnel can wash a car in about 3 minutes. That means, during a busy Saturday, one location can push through more than 100 cars per hour. At an average ticket of $10 to $12, that's over $1,000 an hour, flowing in while the owner does absolutely nothing but watch the line grow. Compare that to a restaurant, where a table might sit occupied for 90 minutes and generate $60. The car wash wins, and it doesn't even have to cook anything. But before you quit your job and start buying soap in bulk, you need to hear the entry price. Building a new express tunnel wash from scratch typically costs between $4 and $7 million. Yes, million. The land alone often runs $1 to $2 million because car washes need something very specific: a busy road. Not just any busy road, but one carrying at least 25 to 30,000 cars per day. Then comes the building, roughly $1.5 million. The tunnel equipment, the conveyors, the brushes, the dryers, another million or more. Add the paving, the vacuums, the signage, and the point-of-sale systems. Suddenly you understand why this isn't a side hustle. It's real estate development disguised as a soap business. There are cheaper doors into the industry. A self-service wash might cost a few $100,000s to buy used, and existing washes sell all the time for less than the cost of building new. But keep that $4 to $7 million number in your head, because it makes what comes next even more interesting. Here's where the car wash business stops being about washing cars and starts being about something else entirely. Around 15 years ago, the industry discovered a magic trick borrowed from Netflix and gyms: the unlimited membership. Instead of paying $12 per wash, customers pay $20 to $40 a month for unlimited washes. And this changed everything. Suddenly, a car wash wasn't a business that depended on the weather. It was a subscription company, with recurring revenue arriving on the first of every month, rain or shine. And here's the part that would make a casino blush. The average member washes their car about 2 to 3 times a month. Some wash once, some never come at all, but keep paying. Because canceling requires effort, and humans are wonderfully lazy. Sound familiar? It's the gym membership model, except the car wash doesn't even need to pretend to offer yoga classes. Industry estimates suggest a well-run express wash today earns 60 to 70% of its revenue from members. That means, before the month even begins, the owner already knows most of their income. Banks love this, investors love this, and it's the single biggest reason private equity came knocking. Now let's talk actual numbers, because that's why you're here. A single express tunnel wash in a decent location It typically washes between 80,000 and 150,000 cars per year. At an average revenue of $10 to $13 per car, that puts annual revenue between roughly $1 and $2 million. Exceptional locations, the ones on perfect corners in growing suburbs, can exceed $2.5 million. These are estimates, and they vary widely by market, but they're realistic for the industry today. Revenue is one thing, profit is another. So where does the money go? This is where the car wash reveals its second superpower. Its biggest expense is almost nothing. Labor at an express wash is shockingly low because the machines do the work. A tunnel wash might run with just 3 to 6 employees on shift, mostly guiding cars and selling memberships. Water, surprisingly, costs less than you'd expect because modern washes recycle a large portion of it, in some cases up to 80%. Soap and chemicals run an estimated 40 to 60 cents per car. Utilities, insurance, maintenance, and marketing take their bites. But when the dust settles, a well-operated express wash keeps around 40 to 50% of revenue as operating profit. Let that sink in. A restaurant is thrilled with 10%. A grocery store survives on 2%. The car wash casually pockets half. So on a wash doing $1.5 million in revenue, the owner might see $600,000 to $700,000 in operating profit before debt payments. Even after paying the mortgage on that expensive building, many owners clear several $100,000 a year per location. And nobody ever calls at midnight because the pasta was cold. But before this starts sounding too easy, let's talk about the traps, because they are real and they are expensive. The first is location. A car wash is a fixed box bolted to the ground. If you pick the wrong corner, you can't fix it. You can't move it. Traffic counts, visibility, and ease of entry all matter. Even which side of the road you're on matters, because people wash their cars on the way home, not on the way to work. One bad left turn situation can quietly sink a multi-million-dollar investment. The second is competition, and this one is getting ugly. Because the economics are so attractive, everyone is building. Some suburban intersections in Texas and Florida now have 3 or 4 express washes within a mile of each other, all fighting over the same dirty cars. When that happens, membership prices drop, free wash promotions fly, and margins shrink. The industry even has a name for it: the car wash wars. Thousands of new tunnels have opened in the past decade, and in oversaturated areas, some are already failing. The third is hidden costs. That gleaming equipment doesn't stay gleaming. Conveyor chains wear out. Dryer motors burn up. A serious equipment failure can shut down the entire tunnel, and a closed tunnel earns exactly $0 while still owing the bank. Smart owners budget tens of thousands of dollars per year for maintenance, and every 10 to 15 years, the whole tunnel needs a refresh that can cost $1 million. And then, there's the occasional customer who claims your machine scratched their car, which, whether true or not, is now your problem, and soon, your higher insurance premium. There's also a psychological layer to this business that most people never think about. Why do people pay for something rain will do for free? Because a car wash doesn't sell clean cars. It sells a feeling. Marketers have long known that people feel measurably better driving a freshly washed car, the same way a fresh haircut changes how you walk. The unlimited membership deepens this. Once someone pays monthly, washing becomes a habit, a little ritual of control in a chaotic week. Owners understand this perfectly, which is why the best washes feel less like utilities and more like experiences, with colorful foam, glowing lights in the tunnel, and free vacuums that make you feel like you're getting away with something. And that feeling, multiplied across millions of drivers, is exactly what caught Wall Street's attention. In recent years, private equity firms have poured money into the industry, rolling up small chains into giants. Mr. Car Wash, the largest chain in America with over 400 locations, went public in 2021 at a valuation of several $billion. Take 5, Tommy's Express, and other fast-growing chains have expanded aggressively. Why? Because investors realize that a business with subscription revenue, 50% margins, minimal labor, and no exposure to Amazon is essentially the holy grail. You cannot download a car wash. You cannot get one delivered. The internet, which destroyed bookstores and video rentals, cannot touch this business. Your car gets dirty in the physical world, and it must be cleaned in the physical world. That said, the corporate gold rush has consequences for the little guy. Independent owners now compete against chains with cheaper capital, better technology, and bigger marketing budgets. A $3 introductory offer from a national chain can drain a family-owned wash across the street in months. The industry is slowly splitting into two worlds: sophisticated operators who treat it like the serious business it is, and legacy owners who are either selling out at record prices or getting squeezed. And selling out is its own fascinating story. Because of those juicy margins, car washes sell for large multiples of their profit. A wash producing $500,000 in annual earnings might sell for an estimated $3 to $5 million. Some owners spent decades quietly building 3 or 4 locations, then sold to private equity, and walked away with $20 or $30 million. Not bad for a business their neighbors assumed was trivial. So what separates the winners from the failures? The biggest mistakes in this industry are surprisingly consistent. Underestimating the build cost and running out of money before opening. Choosing a site based on cheap land instead of traffic. Ignoring the membership program and relying on weather-dependent retail customers. And treating the wash as passive income too early. Because while a mature wash can run semi-passively, a new one demands obsessive attention to quality, speed, and customer experience. A tunnel that scratches cars or leaves them wet develops a reputation that no marketing budget can scrub away. So let's finally answer the question. How much money does a car wash make? A small self-service wash might net its owner $50,000 to $100,000 a year. A solid living, but not a fortune. A single well-located express tunnel can realistically produce $300,000 to $700,000 in annual profit after expenses, with elite locations earning over $1 million. And an owner with a handful of locations is quietly sitting on an empire worth tens of millions, built entirely on 3-minute transactions and the human desire for a shiny car. The car wash might be the most underestimated business in America. It hides in plain sight, dressed up as something ordinary while operating on economics that most industries can only dream about. So the next time you roll through that tunnel of foam and flashing lights and hand over $10 without a second thought, remember this. You're not just getting a clean car. You're funding someone's early retirement, 3 minutes at a time.